and we're all done with our cabinet. Today we are going to be assembling kitchen cabinets. As you can see, we went with an RTA cabinet, which is a ready-to-assemble cabinet. There are loads of companies that offer RTA cabinets. Typically they're going to be plywood construction and solid wood face frames. So that is pretty much a top-tier cabinet. It's much better than a foil-faced or a particle board cabinet, which you would be typically getting at a big box store. We went with these RTAs because they were a fraction of the price of what we would be getting through a big box store and much better quality as well. This is what they look like when you receive them off the truck. This is just a flat pack box, and the weight ranges depending on what kind of cabinets you get. Some of the boxes were 100 pounds. This one here is 35 pounds. So this is just an upper cabinet with two doors. So we are going to be assembling that. We do have a video of showing you how to assemble a cabinet with drawers. Between the two of these, the steps are going to be very similar. So if you want a link to the video of building cabinets with drawers, just check out this video right up here. We're just going to open this up. Be careful not to scratch anything with your knife, so just be mindful when you're opening it. This is what you will be receiving. So these things are usually pretty efficiently packaged. You can see there's not a whole lot of damage that could be done between these pieces. So I'm gonna just start unloading and setting these up over here on my big desk. You can see the face frames are nice and wrapped up. So that's what matters. You don't want any scratches on that. So in the box of hardware, you will typically have a parts list with some not very descriptive assembly instructions. We've got a bag of brackets and screws, another bag of miscellaneous screws, and these are our cabinet door hardware. So this will, open the doors. All right, so it's always a little bit of a puzzle to kind of get these laid out. This cabinet is an upper cabinet, so it is a little bit different than the base cabinets that we have been assembling, but one easy way to kind of determine how to lay these pieces out is you can see this has a rabbeted edge right down here, and then similarly it's on the other side. And then on the interior, you've got these two grooves. Well, on these pieces, we have a similar sized rabbeted edge and then our two grooves. So this is going to be our left side, this is going to be our right side. And then we have two pieces about this size. This is going to be for the top and bottom of our cabinet. You can see one side is painted, so we're going to have the painted sides facing out. And in order to get this going, we're just going to slide this into our show, or our back piece right here. Make sure it's all lined up. And then we're going to grab one of our brackets. And if you look closely, they usually do have holes kind of marked out. The instructions will also kind of give you a rough guideline as to where to put these brackets to make sure that they're nice and hidden. You just drill these brackets in. And do the same on this side. Now it's going to be a lot easier to put in this side. So we're going to line this little groove up with our little rabbeted edge right here. So those will fit into place, just like so. You can see that's nice. And then this will also kind of help support this piece, but we're going to put some more brackets in this way. All right, so now that we have the back, the sides, and the bottom in, we're going to go ahead and put the top piece in. And it's literally, we're just repeating the same steps as the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this piece in with the painted side facing out. We've got 6 brackets in. On the bottom side, you can see we do not have brackets up here. The reason for that is we're going to have a face frame that's going to go over the top of this, and it's going to keep all of this kind of like squeezed together and tight. And then we'll have another bracket here. So this is what your face frame is gonna look like. It's solid wood, it's really nice, all jointed together. And you can see on the back side, we have our dados already cut out. If it feels like it's not going into place, don't force it, because you could pretty easily split something or break something. Just be kind of mindful of that and try and get everything lined up. Sometimes your box isn't super square, so it does require a little bit of, encouragement. But when it does snap in, you can kind of feel like that. It held really nicely. This is an over the fridge cabinet, but any other upper is going to be very similar. So this is our face frame, and we're going to have our doors open this way. So there's going to be one bracket right here, one bracket right here. So on the back side here, and on the back side here. And then it looks like there's going to be 2 brackets on either side on the inside of the face frame. And on the back, notice that there were these pre-drilled holes. Those will go into the top and the bottom shelves of the box and just add a little bit more rigidity. So they have these like black drywall screws that you can go ahead and tack those in. They should all be lined up, so just try and get them in straight and you shouldn't have an issue. Okay. So our box is pretty much assembled. We got our face frame on. Everything is all screwed together on the box. We just have to put on the doors now. And we're gonna start by putting on the hinges. This is what they'll look like. They're nice soft close hinges, so very, very nice hardware, but the circular part is gonna go inside a cutout on the door. So this is what the back of your door looks like. And you're gonna take these hinges, and the circle side will go right in there like that. And you can see they already have the holes drilled out for you. Again, we'll just take that circle part, pop it right in, and we'll screw those into place, and then these will line up with holes right there as well. So you can either mount them to your cabinet here or to the door. I like to mount them to the door because I know that, I'm not going to be moving these circles around. I can at least move this up and down if I absolutely had to. I'm going to go ahead and mount these up to the door, and then we will attach them. All right, so this is the little bag of hardware that came with these hinges. You do have some rubber stops, so we can put those in the corner when we're all done. But we also have a handful of miscellaneous screws. We have some longer screws and then some shorter screws. We're going to want to kind of take these longer screws out because those are going to be used to mount the doors to this wall. The shorter ones are going to go into the door. The longer ones might bust through the door, but also you want more holding strength here because you're only going to have one screw in each of those. So again, just take it gently, especially if you're using a battery-powered drill or something, because you can strip these holes out pretty easily, and it's a little bit of a process to re-drill them or fix that kind of a mistake. All right, well, those are all set, and now go ahead and line them up with the inside of our doors here, inside of our cabinet. Okay, that would be absolutely center. Now, what I can do is make sure that I've got a good amount of space right here on the bottom, and it looks like it's going to be very, very close to the same amount of space I'm going to have on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and just trust these pilot holes here and drill this into place. I'm using those bigger screws now. Okay. Same thing with these, you want to take it really easily because you do not want to strip that out. That would not be fun. So, just slow and steady. All right, and that is all there is to it. Looks like the cabinet door is a little bit crooked, which is fine. We can adjust it on those hinges, but that is basically what we want to see. It's a nice soft close, so it's good. All right, so I got the second door on, and as you can kind of see, they're a little bit uneven. This one is much lower than this one. In order to adjust these cabinet doors, you've got a couple of screws in here on your hinges. This is the main one that we drilled into the cabinet face, but then you've got a screw here and a screw here, and these will adjust different variables in regards to your door. Now, if you look closely at this gap right here, this light gap, you can see that if I turn this screw, let's try it this way, it raises this side out a good deal and it pinches this side in a good deal. So that is going to have a weird effect on your door when it closes, where this side is not touching your cabinet face, but this side is. So that's a dramatic example of what that will do. A good way to kind of straighten that out is just look at this gap and try to adjust them to where this gap is going to look as straight as possible. And this would just help you if the face of your cabinet is warped in any way. That looks pretty good as far as I can tell. Okay, now I'm gonna measure, and it looks like I want this door to drop down a little bit, so the other screw is probably going to aid me. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but this whole hinge will slide up or slide down regarding how I turn this screw. So watch closely this upper part right here. And you can see it will come up toward me as I twist this screw. And then it will drop back down. So, and same with the bottom. There are, in fact, 3 different adjustment screws. You have the 2 that I pointed out. Well, there is a third right here, which also will adjust the door. And a combination of all of those will essentially just change your door alignment. You basically are gonna have to play with it until you can get them to line up as good as you can. This one's a little bit high still, and I've just been essentially slowly but surely kind of tweaking these interior screws. Okay, that looks a lot better, but you can see, right, if I just really cranked this down and really cranked this one up, they make a big difference. So obviously we don't want this dramatic of a misalignment, but if you had that dramatic of a misalignment, you really could alter how your cabinets close. Yeah, you can be about as obsessive with this as you can. I'm doing it probably more than I need to, but I think I'll call that good. So just play around. There are 3 different screws which allow for a lot of different variables as far as straightening these cabinet doors. Eventually you will figure it out and you will get it. Just try and play with them, and use your hand tools for that. You don't want to strip out one of those screws. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on these little rubber stoppers, and we should be done. They're just peel and stick, and there's no real wrong or right way to do it. I just put it in these corners right here. They also allow for a little bit of space on your cabinet door, so you can kind of look down the line here and see that this gap looks a lot better than that gap right there. All right, and we're all done with our cabinet. So that's how you assemble an upper cabinet. The process is a little bit tricky at first, but a lot of the steps are very similar to your base cabinets, your drawers, your pantries. We have videos for all of those assemblies as well, so please feel free to check all those out. We'll link all of them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we will see you in the next one.